She walked into the prison with a soft smile, her purse tucked under one arm, the usual paperwork in hand, just like she'd done dozens of times before. Nicole Thomas had been visiting her husband Derek for nearly 9 years. Same routine, same security checks, same quiet prayer whispered under her breath as she waited to be let through. But what she didn't know was that this visit would be her last, and just minutes after she sat across from the man she once vowed to love forever. Screams filled the room. The guards ran in. The other visitors backed away in horror. Nicole lay motionless on the cold floor, her body limp, her eyes open, lifeless. And Derek? He just stood there, staring down at the woman he had once begged God to keep safe. Why would a man murder the one person who stood by him through his darkest years? What did he find out? And who told him the truth? Before we go any deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, click on the subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. They were the kind of couple that made people believe in second chances. Derek Thomas, 43 years old, had been behind bars for nearly a decade, serving a 15-year sentence for armed robbery. A mistake, he called it, a moment of desperation that cost him everything. But through all the court hearings, through all the judgment and shame, Nicole stayed. She was 36, a woman who carried herself with grace, faith, and a quiet strength. The kind who wore pearls to church on Sunday and mailed handwritten scriptures to her husband every Monday. For 9 years, she remained loyal, until the day she wasn't. So what changed? How does a woman go from writing Bible verses to running from hotel rooms under fake names? Who uncovered the secret life Nicole had been hiding? And more importantly, why did Derek snap? Was it really just rage from betrayal? Or had something been building inside him all along? Those are the questions that would haunt both families, not just because of what happened inside that prison visiting room, but because of what had been happening in the shadows long before Nicole's final visit. And as investigators dug deeper, the truth they uncovered was far more complicated than anyone expected. Before we continue, take a moment to ask yourself, what would you do if someone you loved, someone you sacrificed everything for, turned out to be living a lie? Would you forgive them? Or would that pain consume you too? Let us know in the comments how this story makes you feel, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you never miss any power couple. Nicole never missed a visit. Rain or shine, she was there, waiting outside with her ID in hand and that same tired smile on her face. She wrote him letters 3 times a week, sometimes more, scriptures, memories, even poems she never shared with anyone else. To the outside world, it looked like real love, the kind that endures bars, distance, and years of waiting. But sometimes, even angels wear masks. Nicole and Derek had met long before the orange jumpsuit and metal bars. They were just 2 kids from the same neighborhood. Derek was the one who always made her laugh, even when things weren't funny. He was charming, bold, a little reckless. She was thoughtful, grounded, and loyal to a fault. When he got arrested for armed robbery, Nicole was there every step of the way. She sat through his trial, held his hand during sentencing, promised him, "We'll get through this." And for a while they did. But prison is slow. It stretches time like chewing gum, long, dull, and tasteless after a while. Nicole tried to hold on, but life outside was brutal. Rent was rising. Her hours at the salon kept getting cut. And every time she hung up a call with Derek, the silence in the apartment felt louder, lonelier. Then came the subtle shifts. She stopped showing up every weekend. Their phone calls got shorter, the letters less personal. Derek said nothing at first, maybe she was just tired, but then she started showing up in brand new outfits, different hair, nails always done. Once she came in with a designer handbag, and when he asked where it came from, she smiled and changed the subject. It didn't feel like her anymore. She said she was picking up extra shifts, but something in the way she looked at him, Something about her laugh. It didn't feel honest. Still, he didn't push. He told himself he trusted her, that she had waited this long, that love like theirs could survive anything. But behind every skipped visit and unanswered call, the truth was building. And by the time Derek finally saw what Nicole had become, it was already too late. Now take a moment and ask yourself, have you ever trusted someone so much you ignored every red flag just to protect the image you wanted to believe in? Let us know in the comments. And if this story is hitting close to home, don't forget to subscribe. The truth gets deeper from here. He didn't believe it at first. Rumors like that float around prison all the time. Wives cheating, girlfriends moving on, families giving up. But when the envelope arrived, his world fell apart. It started with a contraband phone, passed from cell to cell, mostly for music, photos, maybe a quick scroll through social media. But one day, a fellow inmate was flipping through an Escort listing site, laughing and calling out ridiculous names, when he stopped, stared, then called over to Derek. "You need to see this." Derek waved him off until the guy slid the phone across the table. There she was, Nicole, hair curled, eyes smoky, lips red, wearing a tight black dress he'd never seen before. But it was her. Only the name said Angelica. And next to it, words Derek had never imagined attached to his wife. Upscale, discreet, overnight available. He felt his chest tighten. His hands went cold. At first he tried to convince himself it was just a look-alike. But the picture had been taken in their apartment. He recognized the couch, the mirror, the framed quote on the wall behind her. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Still, he said nothing. Just stared. 2 days later, a corrections officer, one who quietly had Derek's back, pulled him aside. Said it wasn't just a rumor. Said Nicole had been seen meeting someone outside a motel just off Route 12. Same woman, same clothes, same fake name. Derek didn't sleep that night. He replayed every call, every visit, every little moment. Her saying she was tired, her rushing to leave early, her looking at the floor when he asked how work was going. And the more he thought about it, the more everything started to feel like a lie. The laughter, the letters, even the scriptures. He kept telling himself there had to be a reason, that maybe she was in trouble, that maybe she was just doing what she had to do to survive. But no matter how hard he tried, the images wouldn't leave his head. And inside those cold walls, with no way to escape his thoughts, Derek Thomas began to unravel. Now pause for a second and ask yourself, if you were in his shoes, if the one person you trusted most betrayed you in the most humiliating way, what would you do? Could you forgive them? Or would that kind of pain change you forever? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you're still watching, make sure you're subscribed. The truth only gets heavier from here. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He didn't throw anything. When Derek finally accepted what he saw, something inside him just went quiet. From the outside, he looked the same, still showed up to chow, still nodded at the guards, still worked out in the yard. But something had shifted. He wasn't laughing anymore. He wasn't writing. And when his closest cellmate asked him what was wrong, Derek just shook his head and said, "I'm good." But he wasn't good. He'd made up his mind. If she lied one more time, it was over. The next visit was already scheduled. Nicole always booked them ahead of time, saying she liked to have something to look forward to. Derek didn't say a word about the photo, or the website, or the guard who confirmed everything. He wanted to see for himself, face to face. The morning she arrived, he watched her closely. Every move, every blink. She looked beautiful, as always, hair done, lip gloss shining, a little black jacket he didn't recognize. She hugged him like she always did, smiled, told him she missed him. But something about her felt off. Her laugh was too easy. Her phone buzzed twice, and when she picked it up to silence it, he caught a glimpse of a lock-screen photo that didn't belong to them. It wasn't of their grandkids, it wasn't of him. And for the first time, he looked at her, not as his wife, not as the woman who had stood by him, but as a stranger. He asked her softly. "You still working at the salon?" She blinked. "Of course. Why?" He nodded. "Just wondering." She smiled again. Too quickly, then changed the subject. And in that moment, Derek stopped listening. He wasn't searching for proof anymore. He'd already found it. He was searching for peace. And in his mind, there was only one way to find it. What happened next would shock the entire prison system and expose a dark underworld no one was talking about. Before we continue, take a breath and ask yourself, if someone looked you in the eyes and lied, knowing you already knew the truth, could you ever look at them the same again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe. You won't believe what comes next. The room was quiet. You could hear the hum of the vending machine, the low murmur of other visitors talking in hushed tones. The guard at the far end glanced down at his clipboard. Derek and Nicole sat at a plastic table in the center, just like they always did. But this time, Derek wasn't listening, he wasn't smiling, and he wasn't planning on walking out the same man he came in as. Cameras caught the entire thing. 36 seconds, one weapon, one motive. He reached under the table with both hands, fast, deliberate, and in one sharp motion lunged across at her. It was a toothbrush, sharpened over weeks into a blade no longer than his finger. Nicole let out a single scream, sharp, cut short by shock. She grabbed at his wrists, pushed back, but it was too late. Blood hit the floor, a thick dark splash that spread under her chair. Guards yelled. One tackled Derek, another reached for Nicole, already slumped, already shaking, her eyes wide with disbelief. Visitors ducked, screamed. Some ran toward the doors, others froze where they sat. Derek didn't say a word. He didn't fight. He let the guards drag him down, face first against the floor, breathing heavy, staring at the red stains soaking into his shirt. Nicole died in less than 3 minutes, right there on the floor of the visiting room, the same floor where they'd hugged, laughed, cried, the same place where she once told him she'd wait for him forever. News outlets ran with the story before the blood was even dry. Wife killed in prison visit, husband says she humiliated him. Deadly revenge behind bars, what set off Derek Thomas. From love letters to murder, the tragic end of Nicole Thomas. And just like that, the prison power couple became a national headline. Now take a moment. Imagine watching someone you love bleed out in front of you and knowing you were the one who did it. Could you live with that? Let us know how this makes you feel in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. What's coming next changes everything. In the hours after the murder, Derek didn't ask for a lawyer. He didn't deny what he did. He sat in a windowless room, wrists cuffed, and said only this: "She betrayed me in every way a person can be betrayed." He gave a full confession, told them how he found the photos, how he recognized the name she used, how he watched her lie to his face over and over while pretending to still be his wife. He told them he snapped. And most people believed that was the end of the story. But then, investigators found something strange. A text, then a voice message, and suddenly the story everyone thought they knew began to shift. The Escort site listing hadn't been discovered randomly. It had been sent to that inmate by someone who knew both Nicole and Derek. Her name was Lena, Nicole's best friend since high school, maid of honor at their wedding, godmother to their youngest grandson. Turns out Lena had been visiting Derek too, writing him, even sending him money through third parties. None of it illegal, but none of it innocent either. And when investigators got a warrant to search Lena's phone, they found the truth. A voice recording, sent 2 weeks before the murder. "You deserve better, Derek. She's making a fool out of you. I've seen her. I know what she's doing. And I'm going to make sure you find out one way or another." She was in love with him, had been for years, and jealousy did the rest. In court, Derek pled guilty. He didn't fight it. He refused to even let his attorney argue temporary insanity. He said, I did what I did. No excuses. But the courtroom was divided. Nicole's family insisted she never betrayed him emotionally, that the escort work started only after she sold her car, maxed her cards, and nearly lost her apartment, trying to fund Derek's legal appeal. They said she died trying to save the very man who killed her. Others claimed it didn't matter. She lied. She deceived. She brought something dangerous into a space built on trust and paid the price. So, was this revenge for betrayal? Or was Derek manipulated all along, used as a weapon by someone who couldn't stand to see the woman she envied have everything she wanted? Let us know how you see it in the comments. And if this story has shaken you, hit that subscribe button. The final chapter is coming, and it leaves a question we all have to ask ourselves. Let us know how you feel in the comments. Would you have forgiven or walked away? What does loyalty really mean when someone you love becomes someone you don't even recognize? And if this story shocked you, just wait until you hear what happened when a woman married her dead sister's husband and vanished on their honeymoon. That story's next. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss it.